We will try to give you more and more details and more lessons and lesson learned from what we learned from the cyber war. So a little bit about CodeBlue. CodeBlue is a crisis management company worldwide. We have bases in Germany, Italy, USA, and of course Tel Aviv. We are supporting our clients before, during, and after a crisis. It's not matter what kind of crisis. It could be a ransomware, DDoS, fake news, and other types of risk scenario. We are there to work with our clients. What we bring unique to the table, we are a special forces that come from many aspects. It means we have the incident response, the traditional incident response. We have also intelligence, but we have also a crisis management. We have the business continuity plan. We have the legal, communication, PR, command and control, and all the facilities that we need to win the bad guys. So this is Code Blue, and we are here to share with you what we learned in the last 2 weeks from the war between Israel to Iran. So after we present our panelists, I want to start with Dana Toren. Dana, so as the head of the Israeli National Cyber CERT, what types of attack did you observe during the war?
So, hi everyone, and thanks for being here. Right now, we are seeing a cyber conflict between Iran and Israel, but let's be clear, this isn't the big war yet. What we have seen so far is just the beginning, and we believe that the worst is still ahead. We are in an in-between phase, noisy attacks, ongoing attacks, but still below the level of all cyber war. And on June 13, Israel launched its historic operation. And since then, Iran and its allies have stepped up their cyber attacks, targeting financial organizations, universities, MSP, and supply chain companies. We have seen.
Can you let us know what do you mean about supply chain?
Supply chain are.
What do you mean about supply chain attack? What does it mean?
Okay, so supply chain companies are a central company that can pose a threat to many organizations, to many customers, to many suppliers, that can pose a threat to processes, to mutual processes. And through this supply chain attack, the attacker can go wide to many other companies. And attackers love this point of contact to infiltrate a supply chain company and try to make damage to many others.
Dana, I want to take you a little bit backward. What is the main purpose of the Israeli National Cyber CERT? You are responsible for all the Israeli CERT. Let us know, to our listener, to our followers, what does it mean, the Israeli National CERT? What is your mission? What how look like your daily job?
Okay, so the Israeli National Cyber Directorate is a government agency that aim to protect the digital sphere, the cyber sphere of the Israeli nation. And this agency works with the industry, with all the cyber companies in Israel, in order to improve the resilience of the industry, in order to make sure that the cyber attacks won't damage all the critical infrastructure, the essential entities in Israel, all the business continuity of the industry, the do want
Explain to our Dana. Explain to our audiences. Give me a zoom in to a daily one day during the war. How look like the national shirt during the war? Give me the clock time. Give me the color. Give me the thing the stories behind the scene.
Okay, so within the CERT, we have our war room, 119 center. This center operates 24/7, both in routine and especially now. We are working in an enhanced mode, fully prepared for even worst case scenario. We are constantly monitoring, detecting, handling attacks that can cause harm to the industry, to the public. We work with all the private companies in Israel. We guide all the critical infrastructures by law, and we guide all the essential entities, such as the hospitals, the banks, all the logistics companies. We work with them on a
It's
daily
important,
basis
Dana, it's
in order
important for me
to.
to understand. During the war, did you collaborate with your allies, with from other countries?
Of course, we have a strong foreign relations with many countries. We have many partners overseas. We work with them on a daily basis, and of course, at work we are all together working in order to defend the industry. And of course, this is a mutual interest, because all the activity of Iran against Israel is not just about Israel. Iran is testing tools and tactics that could be used against any other country in the world.
Of
And
course, and
they already,
I want to hear you later about the groups, the Iranian groups, and the modus operandi of them. So, but I want to jump to Deto Hasson. Deto, you are with a 30 years of experience in information security and cyber field. Give me your high-level perspective about the Israel-Iran cyber war conflict.
It's not a conflict. It's a war between two states. And the moment there is a war between two states, you have to protect yourself and to defend yourself, and let the army attack your enemy. But you have to defend your industry. And the industry cyber is one of the arena which action happens. And Iran is very strong in cyber. We know it. We understand it, since they are very wise. The wisdom is not only to us. They are wise at least as much as we are. So we have to give them all the credit that they can do what that they will try to make the best that they can to damage us. The moment we understand it, then we have to prepare ourselves in the industry, in the state level, and that's what I'm doing in the industry. I'm preparing myself to any kind of attack, being
Can
alerted.
you give us can you let us how you prepare some tips to our listener?
Yes, first of all, I'm walking on the roof from side to side with a gun, walking and being alerted. No, when you
No,
say when
but
you
you have a
say
lot of sites around the globe,
so
Deto.
when,
You have a
when
lot of
I will
sites.
explain, I
You
will
need to
explain,
manage all those sites.
I will
How it
explain,
works?
I will explain. First of all, you have to gather the people, gather the people that you are in charge, and explain them what's going on. Explain them what are the possibilities, expectation between people, that they will be alerted to the SOC, the Security Operations Center, that they will be They will understand who is against, who can damage them, what the type of attacks. You have to prepare yourself as if something will happen, something will happen now, tomorrow, yesterday, after yesterday. You have to be ready for every day. That is the work of the defender, to be ready always, 24 hours a day, to be alert, to be ready, and to prepare like for example, honeypot. You have to prepare to put something that can damage, that can hint about a beginning of something that, and then to act to defeat your enemy. This is exactly. It's not like war. It's a war, but a war on the cyberspace. But there is no big difference between the war in the cyberspace and the war in the physical side of the type of damage. The moment you are treating the situation as if, not as if, like you are in war, you may be better ready. For example, always keep people that are on site. Never. We slept not many hours in the last 10 days. In the last 10 days, we did not sleep too much, but it's part of the effort that you have to do in order to be ready to defeat any kind of attack.
Great, thank you. Isaac, I want to ask you from a global perspective, how did the attack pattern in this war differ from previous ones?
So, so if we are looking on Iranian operation tends to be shorter in duration often, and this is a result of several months of preparation from Iran, unlikely to super nations like Russia and China, which run campaigns over a year. And as a result of that, the Iranian attacks often rely on basic techniques that can be mitigated, with strong cybersecurity hygienes, identity management, robust authentication, patching, and implementing modern defense strategy like zero trust. We observed a numerous attempts, but relatively in this period of attack related to the continuous of 7 October, a fewer successful breaches than expected. Most of their activity involved with phishing, exploiting new known vulnerabilities, infiltrating low maturity environments, often one that the organization weren't even aware that exists, and they executing a pivot attack methods.
Dana, from can you let us know who are the players, who are the groups, the Iranian groups that play in our ground?
Yes, of course. Some of the attacks are run directly by Iran's official cyber forces like the IRGC and the Ministry of Intelligence. Others come from hacker groups that support Iran, like Moses Staff, Andala, Cyber Tufan. They leak data, shut down websites, damage websites, spread fake messages. This isn't just about breaking into systems. They make lots of disinformation, and it has become a central weapon. Okay, Iran and its allies are using cyber tools to manipulate public opinion, to create confusion, to spread fear. And we have seen dozens of campaigns, of fake campaigns, such as SMS messages and phone calls pretending to be from official Israeli sources, warning about missile attacks, emergencies, or fake government decisions. and the Iranian goal is clear: to scare the public, to undermine trust, to cause panic. And cyber is not only a technical fight; it's also psychological one. The attackers, all of them, both the Iranian groups and its allies, come not just from malwares, but from fear and uncertainty.
From my perspective, I feel I have the feeling that Khandaleh, one of the Iranian group, was very very active in this war. Isaac, what you can tell us about Khandaleh?
So there again, as Dana said and what I mentioned before, currently they are, since we are in the middle of the war, and as we see for in the conflicts that we have in the last year, cybersecurity is part of or parallel to the kinetic motion. So today the Randala group are mostly acting to do destructive attack. Sometimes it's in parallel to kinetic attacks, and sometimes it's not related to any kinetic, but trying to distract some of our critical infrastructure, at least wants to target. Yes, as I mentioned before, what we see today is the resiliency in the Israeli market is more than expected, and touch wood, they do not have a lot of success. They have some breaching success and some destructive to, as I say, some side environments and etc. But they didn't have a lot of success for touching a critical infrastructure or some services that are part of our economic services for now. Now, the awareness is very important because we want to keep the majority of the market and the majority of those organizations. Many of the critical services in Israel are not critical infrastructure, so they are not audited by organizations like the National Cyber Directorate, but they need to keep in mind that those groups are looking for them. So even I'm an owner of transportation service, or even a manufacturer of groceries and equipment and etc. I'm part of keeping the normal economic life in Israel, and those groups looking exactly for those organizations because they know that the security majority of them are not high. It's not their main business, and the majority is not high, and that's what they're looking now.
I understand. That from your perspective, how look like the business continuity plan? How should look like the business continuity plan during a war for, let's say, an extra large, a multi country national company?
So it begins with the preparation. You cannot go to BCP without preparation to BCP. And preparation, you have to define for yourself 3 to 5 to 7 days without IT. What's going on? What you can do? Let's make one week. 1 week without any IT equipment. All the IT is never mind if it's encrypted or it's not working. Not working. So the moment you prepare yourself, including in the logistic, with what you will, how to act, the moment there is no IT, the moment there is no internet, the moment there is no IT and internet. So you have to take the two possibilities. One of them, you don't have internet. Second, you don't have no IT, not internet. And the third one, you have internet, but you don't have IT. It's damaged. And then the moment you prepare yourself and you make this training before or now, tomorrow, then when it happens, if it happens, you're ready. You're ready. Everything is written. Take from from the shelf all the preparation. Only make it happen. Be calm. Make it calm. Give calm instruction. No, no, don't be very hectic. If you are hectic, act hectic, but don't speak
Don't.
hectic. Don't speak hectic, but be hectic. The moment you are hectic, but don't speak hectic, and you are ready with all the program, with all the things that are already done. But let's suppose you did not make any training. You did not. You are not the one that made the training. What you are doing, what you could do in the first day of war, the second day of war, wake up, make the preparation, make it as if it happens to you today, tomorrow. Probably it did not happen to you this in the first 2 days because the enemy and Israel were occupied with other things. Give yourself time and prepare yourself. You did not do it till now, do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow because the war is not over. The war can begin again. It can be with even more stronger. We can never know what will happen. It depends a lot of things that is not under your control. But what is under your control? Preparation. Preparation is yes under your control. So make the preparation, make lesson learning quiet, calm, and then you are ready.
Great. So we are 20 minutes after our beginning. This is the time to dive in. And Dana, I want to ask you a tough question, and please try to share with our listeners what tactics are they using, the Iranian groups? What tactics? Let us know, because right now I'm putting my pencil and I'm ready to write. Please.
Okay, so we are seeing a wide range of tactics. We see phishing emails to steal login credentials. We see DDoS attacks to overload and shut down websites. We see leaks of sensitive data from Israeli companies and maybe government systems. We see false messaging campaigns like fake alerts and emergency warnings. Some groups are also use ransomware tools, not for money, but to cause chaos.
No,
Other,
I saw a wiper. We investigated
yeah,
wiper. By the way, to our listeners, we have a wonderful research, intelligence research, and if you want, we will share with you our last update wiper investigation with the Yara rules. Please feel free to contact with us. Sorry for the disrupt, Dana. Please continue.
okay, so
I don't hear you.
uh, are you hearing me? You hear me? Okay. So actually, at the past few years, Iran launched many espionage attacks aiming to spy, collect data, and to understand our systems and processes. But now, as you just mentioned, we are seeing a shift toward CNA, meaning attacks that aim to make damage. It can be wipers, it can be ransomware attacks that are not for the money, but for making damage. And these attacks designed not to watch, but to break. They delete data, disrupt operations, make damage to infrastructures. And this is not just about information anymore, it's about disruption. And this is, as you just mentioned, all the attacks that
Isaac
you're
is
handling right now. This is it.
sorry. Sorry for the delay. It's look like I'm disrupting from time to time. It's because the delay of the platform. Isaac, what kind of a new scenario you saw in this war between Israel to Iran?
Yeah,
What kind of new scenario?
it's an interesting question because it's related for what we mentioned before, the type and the maturity of the market in Israel. We saw more and more attempts that targeting environment in organization that was like, an out of band environment, an environment that using for sandboxing, environment that for testing, some cloud environment that the organization weren't aware for it, some servers that using for VPN, which are not the mainstream connection. We're assuming that the majority of the production environment in organization are more mature, so they try to focus and do reconnaissance, allocated the environment that are not under the asset management of the organization. And we saw from there a lot of pivot attacks. So they are, for example, sandboxing environment in cloud are, in most of the time, customer are not implementing MFA. And it's very easy to do password spray. Once you gain access to this environment, very, very easy to steal a live token that pointing to your production environment. And from then, pivot attack to your on-prem. So definitely in the last 2 weeks of the conflict, we saw a lot of, in parallel to October 7, a lot of attempts that coming from those environments that are not managed 100% by organization.
I understand. Deto, from your perspective, what is the most dangerous gap that you identify in the Israeli industry? What is the main gap of cybersecurity that you tell me, Franco, this is the gaps that if you will close it, we will be more resilient?
The gap is it's very easy. The moment you understand that the threat is real, there is no gap. The moment you are in a dream, or you think that it will not come to you, or it will come to your neighbor, then the gap is 100%. So between the gap, in order to close the gap, just wake up. Wake up. That's it.
A lot of people ask me why I established Code Blue, and I told them that in April 2020, and this is amazing issue that is collaborate with our webinar. In April 2020, Iran attacked the Israeli water facilities, and I was in charge and responsible for all the Israeli cybersecurity. And we did what we did, and we defend our nation, and no one suffered from lack of water. And even they tried to change the chlorine in the water and to cause to casualties and damage. They didn't access. But 5 years ago, we understood that cyber can kill. Cyber can kill, and the Iranian, they don't care innocent citizens. And I think I saw also in this war some activities that goes from the virtual side to the physical side and try to cause to a physical damage. Dana, can you let us know little bit about that?
Yes, of course.
For example, the attacks on our hospitals. You can speak about it a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so on June 18, I think, Iran-linked hackers claimed they breached a top Israeli research institute, and later that same day, that same site was hit by a missile. It can be a coincidence, but it can be a real connection between the cyber and the kinetic attack. When digital operations support or amplify real-world strikes, it's a dangerous shift that takes the threat beyond the screen into the streets, actually.
I understand. Isaac, did you saw as a Microsoft? Did you say that the Iranian tried to attack hospitals and things like that on this war?
Yes, actually, if we are analyzing the industries worldwide, like health, education, transportation, and etc. If I'm looking specifically on the health industry in Israel, it is in the past year and a half the health industry in Israel is the second most targeted sector
Wow,
after the US, specifically the health sector.
wow.
There are some highlights, the health, the education also. So definitely they are targeted always.
Can you
Uh,
give us statistics on during this war, Itzik? Can you share with us a little bit?
yeah. Since the October 7th, it jumps from around 6 to position 8 to 6. This is the normal position of the Israel and also those specific industries. And since October 7, it jumped to be the second most targeted after the US. US number one.
Wow, wow.
And the size of, again, if you're calculating the size of the economy and the size of those specific sectors in parallel to the world, it's amazing number and definitely call to action.
But think of it, why is that it is being done? Because it's effective. At the end of it, the health industry, the hospitals and all the, it's you're damaging the public,
Yeah.
you're damaging the state, and they are not protected
Mhm.
as much as needed. And why? Because if there is $1 million, it will go to CT. If there is another $500,000, it will go to X-ray.
Yeah.
When there is 100K, for sure that the ability that it will go to cyber is only if the state will do it. The hospital itself, it's very difficult for him to decide to take money, not to give it to equipment. But now, after the one year, or let's go even a few years before, we had in Tzfat, we had in Bnei Brak, we had in Hadera, all the hospitals have been hit. So
Yeah.
what is the outcome of it? There are the two powers has to change their activity. One is the state and the private sector of the hospital. They have to realize that if they will not do it, they are damaging themselves, they are damaging the public, they are encouraging the enemy to continue to do it.
Yeah. Just to add to your data, you're definitely correct. And we can add to it also the influence of the population that see that the Iranian is succeeded to attacking a hospital. There's a big influence and negative perspective on the security here in Israel. So this is also added to the motivation to do it on the health sector.
I understand. Danny, you told us about the supply chain attack. I know from my previous position that also they try to attack a lot of hosting companies to spread their malicious via websites and to try to disrupt our digital websites and services. What type of are the scenario that you saw in this war about supply chain? What you can tell us? What is has been changed from hostings to what is the new type of supply chain that the Iranian attacks?
They still attack hosting companies, IT companies, cloud services companies. Um, through those companies, they attack all their customers or suppliers. You can see all the publications of the underlying groups in the Telegram. They attacked one MSP, and through this MSP they got into something like 4,000 of companies. This is huge. It's huge, and this is what they are looking for. So they infiltrate the companies. They took their data. Many times it's a very sensitive data. They make influence. They publish it. They want to make a media echo with this data, and it works. It works because the echo is there, and the company is scared. And yeah, so we see it a lot. And actually, the INCD, the Israel National Cyber Directorate, has launched emergency regulations. At the past, we worked on it a lot on the previous week in order to deal in an efficient way, I think, with all those MSPs, okay? Because we think that only with regulations we will be able to make them to make them do something to protect their customers and to help them handling the situation. And we believe in it, so I will be able to tell you more later on, I think.
We are in the last round. We have less than 7 minutes. I want from you two things, guys. One, we are after party. What what the new type of risk that, Isaac, that you see in the next couple of weeks? What there is new types of risk that you can give us alert?
Yeah, so first, the kinetic, the ceasefire is relevant for the kinetic. We know that in the cyberspace, the war is keep going, and we definitely are going to see more tries, first to do some destructive attacks, and the other type of attack is to do embarrass, to embarrass the Israeli economy, the embarrass the government entities. So we're going to see a lot of fake attacks, data exfiltration, and also destructive attacks. So definitely we need to not to still keep doing a lot of preparation work around it.
I understand. Deto, what do you see right now? What you expect right now?
We have to be prepared to the weapon that AI was involved in building them to attack us. Not only in the Iran side, but also from the industry point of view, from criminal organized crime. AI it will enter to the weapons, and we have to prepare ourselves to be better protected for weapons that are using AI to be more efficient, more fast, and more violent.
I understand. I feel that you spoke about the AI. I feel that the Iranian fill the language gap with the AI. Isaac, you told me a little bit about that before the webinar. What you can expose to us? What you
Yeah,
see how they are fill the
yeah,
gap with the AI language model?
yeah. So when you say AI, there are two aspects. One, using it as a offensive attacking tool, and the other one is to execute influence operation. We know that sometimes a small influence operation it's much more effective than a offensive cyber attack. Now, the previous, let's say in the last 2 years or year and a half, The majority of the influence operation was executed by China and Russia. There was the mainstream because to execute before the AI age influence operation, it was very difficult. You need to create a content, quality content that will be, very easy to read by a native language reader, and was very, very difficult to do it. Now with the AI tool, it's very easy to create new content that a native language reader will see it and never recognize that it was written by AI. So the Iranian, we saw since October 7 a rise in the execution of influence operations. They are faking news pages, faking a blog post, even creating a website. So we see it all over. It become part of their attacking strategy.
I understand. Dana, last question, or maybe one more, but we saw a lot of attacks on CCTV, on camera. What do you think was the purpose of this attack?
In recent weeks and even since October 7, Iranian infiltrated to CCTV a lot. And I think that they aim to steal data, to steal information, to understand what is the military are going to do, what are our plans. They take those videos and publish it online with
Creative propaganda.
yeah, they make a propaganda from all the CCTV's attacks. After October 7th, we also saw attacks against big public CCTVs. For example, in the cinemas, okay, when the attackers showed videos of the hostages and from the incident itself. So this is for propaganda, for embarrass the government, for causing a panic within the public. And this is a psychological warfare, of course, with stealing information and spy after our plannings.
I can tell you that during the war, we take all our clients, and we told them to change the alert mode, to change and reduce the surface attack, okay, to change their cyber behavior, to be more alerted, and to speak with us. And I told you, I spoke about after party, and I can tell you from the moment that Iran opened 2 days ago the internet, we see right now a huge flame of attack. Right now we are dealing with 10 crises in our clients and new clients. So from my perspective, right now the after party, okay, is looking that right now they are trying to strike us to make a revenge. Okay, we didn't we didn't we expect for that. Yes, we expect for that. But right now it looks like all the physical shift to the cyberspace. Isaac, did you see the carve that I'm speaking right now? You are on mute. You are on mute, Isaac.
Oh. Well, let's say we are expecting to have a curve, but since again the rate of the attacks was high in the past, let's say months, or since October 7, we have a spike of attacks in Israel. Then few months it becomes lower again. Now we still see, since the last conflict 2 weeks ago, we see a spike in the attacks, and currently we do not see now a reduce yet. So it's still definitely
Like,
this is something that still happening. Yeah.
Okay, so before we are going to end, one tip from each of you. Deto, please be the first one.
Always initiate activities. Always be the one to be the first, to be the second. Don't stay behind. If you will stay behind, you will stay along behind, and you will be attacked. Be ready. Be ready. Be code blue.
Thank you, Isaac.
I want to talk about physical shelter. You know, since the 90s, every apartment and every house, every building in Israel needs to have a physical shelter, and we saw in this conflict that it was improve itself. A lot of Israeli was saved because of this shelter. Now, you are not building the shelter when the conflict is started. You're building the shelter when you're building your house. Now, if I'll take it to the cyber world, a lot of organization, you know, doing digital transformation and etc. Once you're doing it, you need to create your cyber shelter. You need to work on it when you're doing your digital transformation. Don't wait for the conflict or the cyber events. I can tell you from our bad experience, when we try to do it ad hoc, since during a crisis, it not work well. A cybersecurity project are not suitable for rapid deployments. So
I fully agree with you.
Yeah.
I fully agree with you, Dana.
Conflict is not just.
We don't hear you, Dana.
You don't hear me? Do you hear me?
No.
So I think that this conflict is not just a chapter in the cyber history, it may be the prologue to something much bigger. And I believe that when the enemy fails to succeed in the physical world, he shifts to the digital one. So he will keep trying in cyberspace until he feels he finally succeeds. So we must be ready mentally, operationally, and strategically. So and the future is not just coming, it's already knocking on our doors, and we need to be ready.
I fully agree with you. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Deto. Thank you, Dana. It was a great pleasure to host you with us, and I believe we will see you in the next webinars. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for our
Thank you.
listeners. Thank you that you join us and enjoy from our webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.